it's really sad when you see like a black man be so gentle with women of other races and they're just incapable of being gentle with black women, and then they say things like, "Oh, you're a strong black woman. Oh, you're so strong." I think it's just like it's like giving me PTSD just thinking about it. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Like, this is really upsetting. Okay, what's up, you guys? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. Today I wanted to talk about Perfect Match and what really went down with this excuse for a reality dating show. I want to talk about the way that black women were treated on the show. I know a lot of people have made videos on this already, but I think it's really important that if you have something to say on this topic, that you use your voice and that you speak out about it, because I feel like a lot of people, especially non-black women, don't understand the actual struggle of watching these dating shows, and even for the black women who go on these dating shows, how they may feel after being a part of these shows. So I think it's really, really cool that so many people saw the issues with Perfect Match, whereas with other reality shows that I enjoy, like Love Island, for example, and even Love is Blind, people ignore the fact that there's very little black representation, or they ignore the fact that so many people will be casted for the show, but very few of them will be interested in black women. Like, for some reason, they could always find women to be interested in the black men, but they could never find men to be interested in the black women. And it's just kind of troubling. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of break down the Perfect Match and talk about that. And should black women just stop going on these dating shows? Is that really a solution to what's going on right now? For black women dating online, in real life, and on television, it's no secret that it could be a massive undertaking just to figure out if you are somebody's preference, which I think it's literally only it's just black women who feel that way, where they go out and they have to wonder if black men are preferring us, like if we're their preference. And online dating platforms like Tinder and Bumble, and even dating in real life, prove that these preferences exist among men of all races, including black men. But reality TV shows like Love Island and The Bachelor have given us a front row seat to view the constant dismissal of black women. Sorry guys, my cat's in her litter box. She's being so annoying. So we've seen the constant dismissal of black women in shows like Love Island, where we see the black women getting picked last.
Sharif, as you were the first boy in, who would you like to couple up with, Yewande or Anna?
I'm gonna go with Anna.
Amazing, off you go. Michael, as the last single guy, you are coupled up with the last single girl, Yewande. Off you go.
I feel like the Perfect Match did exactly the same thing, except it was just really, really lazy. I feel like, yeah, The Bachelor is very dismissive of black women. Love Island as well. We've experienced some really nice moments in Love Island, some cool moments in The Bachelor where there was a black bachelorette, just tokenism here and there where we were like, okay, maybe they don't completely hate us. But at least these shows, to me, like, they had some more like entertainment aspect to them. To me, the Perfect Match was so ridiculously stupid and lazily written. I just couldn't get behind it. And then when I saw the way that they were treating black women on the show, it was like, so just to describe to you guys what the show really was about, like the premise of it all, it's like a mix of Are You the One and Love Island, except it's just not nearly as good as either. Like I just said, just like in Love Island, you couple up or match with someone and you must remain in a couple to stay in the villa. It's the same thing. And just like Are You the One, the winners of challenges do have some sort of power. But in Are You the One, when you win a challenge, you go on the date and you get sent into the truth booth. There's no truth booth in Perfect Match. There's no predetermined matches. And I think that's part of the reason why I was like, this is really stupid, because there's no goal at the end of the day. Everybody's just kind of thinking if there are no predetermined matches, how do you know if anybody's playing the game right? If they're not just like making things up along the way and just saying, oh, I like you because of just physical attraction. And another thing that I didn't like about the show, before I get into all the nitty gritty of it. I didn't like the fact that they kept bringing the same people in over and over and over again. Like, this show was so low budget, and I feel like they had a really great group of Black women on this show. They had Colony Reeves and Anne Sophie from Selling Tampa, literally two of the baddest people you will ever see in your life. Like, they're just beautiful. But I feel like they kept bringing the same people into the house over and over. They kept bringing in men who were just like, to me, like, I feel like Colony and Sophie, even Diamond, I feel like they were completely out of these men's leagues. I wasn't like too shocked that they didn't find a match. I was shocked that these men were not like, oh my goodness, look at these women, like they're so beautiful. They didn't see any value in these Black women who were completely out of their league. The beginning of the show reminded me of Love Island in the way that Anne Sophie was like default match with Zay, and the fact that Zay didn't even want to be with her. Like, they didn't even like each other, and then the Black people ended up default match with each other. That reminded me of Love Island a lot. And I just don't like the way that Zay just kept acting like Anne Sophie was super uptight, or like he was like better than her, or like he had other options. Like, bro, your preferences don't prefer you. A lot of these men, their preferences do not prefer them. But let's keep in mind, I didn't even like Zay from The Ultimatum, so I have my biases. I'm gonna formally introduce all the Black women who showed up in the perfect match. So we had Colony Reeves, we have Anne Sophie from Selling Tampa, Izzy Fairthorn from Too Hot to Handle, and Diamond Jack from Love is Blind. So like I was saying, I really feel like the perfect match made Black women look undesirable. And I'm not going to say it's all perfect match, even though if you look at Jessie Woo's video, she does talk about the fact that one of the producers, talent directors, one of them made a video, this woman, she made a video about the mistreatment of Black women on these shows, the mistreatment of women of color on these shows. Because let's not forget, there was also an Asian woman on this show, and the way that she was dismissed was also not cool. I feel like Savannah wasn't given a fair shot either. I want to say, going back to what I was saying, I want to say that Perfect Match has like full responsibility for this. The show has full responsibility for it because they filmed and aired it. They cast it and everything. They knew very well what was going to happen. But at the same time, I know we have to give responsibility to the individuals who were involved, like Chase and Dom, and even White Tarzan, whose name I'm not gonna look up. I don't remember his name right now. We have to talk about him too, because I feel like a lot of people are making it seem like he didn't do no wrong. And to me, no, that's just bullshit. He did a lot. So let's start with Chase. I think I was annoyed from the first episode of the show, but I didn't start getting really triggered until Chase showed up. Roach Boy. But the way Chase used Anne Sophie and then didn't even really allow her to talk about how it made her feel really rubbed me the wrong way. It just felt like her feelings were completely ignored. I don't know if it's just me, but Chase got to have his confessional where he talked about how obviously he tricked Anne Sophie, how obviously the kiss wasn't a 10 out of 10, which I don't understand, because obviously what's so obvious, Chase? I don't understand what's obvious about the kiss not being a 10 out of 10. But the way he was saying it, to me, it was very dehumanizing. Like, the way he was kind of like, yeah, Anne Sophie's obviously not my perfect match. Like, I'm obviously playing a game here. I just feel like you are like so into, like, you're so obsessed with your preferences. Like, you feel like you're so entitled, which you are entitled to, like, what you prefer, but you feel like you could actually say that it's obvious that somebody wouldn't be your type. What do you mean it's obvious? Like, I just don't understand that. Like, I hate when people do things like that. Okay, so I have this example. I have this like little story. And okay, so I had this friend when I was in college, and I remember her boyfriend had thought one of our other friends was attractive or something. I don't remember exactly how the conversation went down, but this friend that I'm talking about, like, she's really, really beautiful. So a lot of people thought she was attractive. What bothered me was the fact that I think it was my friend's boyfriend who was like, yeah, obviously, like, she's attractive or whatever. And she was like, yeah, like, I wouldn't be upset if he was like saying that he thought, let's say her name is Sarah. I wouldn't be upset if he thought that Sarah was attractive, because, I mean, obviously, I would be a little bit more weirded out if he said that about Missy. And I was like, wait, whoa. Why are you using me as an example? I don't think she was trying to call me ugly. Obviously, we were actually friends, like, and she was a good friend in many other ways. But I think the way she was saying it, like as a white woman, is because she knew for a fact that I wasn't most people's preference. Like if somebody was gonna date me, it's probably because they're specifically into black women, or because they're also black. And there were still exceptions to that rule, because not all black men will date black women and vice versa. So I hate when people make it obvious that you're not the preference and they reinforce those ideas, because it hurts. It's like, it's painful. It doesn't feel good. Especially coming from your peers. Like it's kind of like, okay, so that's how you see me. I was just like, it's like it makes sense, but it's also still like, what? Like, why would you say that? I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about Dom though, because I don't think Chase deserves a lot of my time. So let's talk about Dom. I think Dom's comments towards Colony were extremely cringy, just outlandish, because he would never say that to none of these white women. Just like Jessie Wu said in her video, he would never be caught dead saying that to Georgia or Francesca. For him to be like, I'm gonna stay home and da 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 da, and this, that, and the third to Colony, who clearly is not about that life. Like, you could just look at Colony and see she's not about that life. I thought that was just very tone deaf of him to say, and it was just embarrassing. But that's probably why Francesca had you choking on national television, literally choking, asking if it's raining.
I didn't think this was gonna.
Oh my God, Tom! Oh my God.
Why is it raining? Why is.
Because you could be a protector for her, but when it comes to Colony, she's a strong black woman. When you go meet up with Diamond, the beautiful Diamond on the beach, it's I don't even know why they sent me on this date, but for some reason I feel like, let's say if Georgia was in the house, he met Georgia first and then Francesca came over, I feel like he would have given her way more of a chance. Like he would have been saying things like, "Ooh, you're making this hard for me. You are making it really hard for me though," and stuff like that. But I feel like he was very dismissive towards the black girl. Like seriously, it was really giving me the ick. And I know that Dom is like a light-skinned black man and we don't know his background, we don't know his upbringing, we don't know like, but it just was really cringy because he was one of the most liked black men on the show. He was one of the ones that people thought was soft, sweet, gentle, just a good partner in general. And then for him to act like that, for him to just be so freaking disappointing, it really, really rubs me the wrong way. And the fact that Dom and what's her name are no longer together. Like, are you serious? So Georgia was acting like this is like her dream man, and now she's with Harry from Too Hot to Handle. Like, that's her type. That's her preference. And now Dom's on social media crying about, oh, he was fooled and he was bamboozled and they got off the show. They never even got a chance to be together. Like, what did you expect, honey bun? What did you expect? And I'm pretty sure Georgia is Australian and so is Harry. So I feel like they were together this whole time. She came on the show for some publicity. Going back to Dom, the last thing I want to say is I think it's really sad when you see like a black man be so gentle with women of other races and they're just incapable of being gentle with black women, and then they say things like, oh, you were a strong black woman, oh, you're so strong. I think it's just like, it's like giving me PTSD just thinking about it. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Like, this is really upsetting. Anyway, so let's talk about White Tarzan, because my opinion is different from the others. I think he was a piece of shit. And a lot of people are saying that this White Tarzan guy, oh, Jessie said that's my kind of white guy. I know I keep referencing her, but she's the last video I watched on The Perfect Match, and I just couldn't agree with her on that point, because I liked the fact that Diamond got attention as soon as she got in there. I liked the fact that they had a vibe. I liked all of that. It seemed that they like each other. But when he started using the same narrative that Chase was using, we're not going to excuse him because he's white, okay? Because I feel like we are so hard on black men. We are. Where we will be like, oh, we're not your preference and da-da-da-da-da, and you like white women and da-da. And just leave us out of it. Like, if you like white women, just leave us out of it. I feel the same thing when it comes to white men who ride on the coattails of a black woman until they find their white girl, or who will like fetishize a black woman until they find a white girl, or who will just like, you know, have that fun, playful, friendly vibe with a black girl and then be like, yeah, but like, you guys know she's not my type though. I don't like that. I thought it was really, really, really cringy. And yeah, like every man's obsession with Francesca is honestly so brutal. It's so sad because she is so manipulative. Like when we hear the thing, we can really speak about like pretty privilege and color preferences and colorism and all of that when we talk about Francesca talking about pulling a tampon out of this other girl's coochie and everybody being like, oh my God, that's cute. I feel like if a black girl said that, somebody would have called her disgusting. Somebody would have said, you're nasty. But Francesca does it and it's no big deal. I don't like that. It was just like, she was just never in danger of being judged. And that just gave racism to me. And it's just like, people are acting like she had the sauce and all she was doing was manipulating people, acting like she was obsessed with his ugly ass. What's his name? She was acting like she was obsessed with this guy. She did not care about him. But guys, should black women continue going on these shows? Do you think that the solution is for black women to stop going on these shows? Or do you think that casting could be better? Do you think that they could find men out there who are actually interested in black women? Unambiguously black women. Is that going to solve the issue? Are there going to be other narratives? Like, for example, we know with Love Island, when they do have black love on the show, they don't show it a lot. So are there going to be other issues where they don't get as much airtime? For me personally, I think black women who participate in reality TV shows, that decision is up to them, because we have to remember at the end of the day, some of these women are not going on these shows for love, black, white, or whatever. They're not going on these shows for love. They're going on there for the bag. So yes, we're looking at these shows and we're feeling hurt and we're feeling like, damn it, I wish that the black woman would get chosen. But yes, that is true. But at the same time, them not going on these shows isn't necessarily the solution, because at the end of the day, people want to make their money. Some people are getting their foot in the door with acting through reality TV, their foot in the door with influencing, whatever they want to do in the public eye. Maybe they're getting their foot in with reality TV. So I think black women should continue to get as much exposure as they would like. I hope for better treatment overall, but I think black women should continue putting themselves out there. I think it also helps us to have these conversations. I think TV producers absolutely need to do better. Casting directors need to do better. And yeah, that's that. I'm just gonna leave the video here though, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about The Perfect Match and other dating shows. Are there any dating shows that you think I should watch and review? I look forward to reading all of your comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.